plan of action with the Mine of the Craft today? Well, actually, we've got a number of options. Now, I was kind of standing here pre-stream, and I was thinking, you know what? This is not a nice sight to look out this window. I look out this window a lot, and it's not really that great. So, at some point, we need to start planning to make that view a good view. Now, we've got a couple of options that we can do to do this. So what do we have in the way of this view? At the moment, we've got a bee farm, which can get moved. We have a bunch of copper, which, to be fair, this is only out here until it oxidizes, then I'll bring it all in. But, yeah, I probably should design a better place to put the copper farm. And actually, I really wouldn't mind building Pixel Rift's copper farm, because it looks really cool and it's pretty fancy the way it works. And I kind of want to build a huge big contraption like that anyway. This pathway is just a mess. I mean, the actual path itself looks great, but everything around it is just a mess. And we've also got a big old empty space in the distance over there. So, a bit like with, for instance, the sheep. So what we could do today to counteract that. So this is option number 1. Start work terraforming this area around here to put in my big old sheep farm thing. This is where all the sheep are going to go in, like this huge area around there. They're going to be like live grazing around there. We'll have a big wall that goes around. It's going to be completely creeper-proof, mob-proof, and no mobs will be able to get into this area. It will be lit in such a way that, you know, it's going to be good. And we're going to have number one importance is that the sheep will not be able to escape. So, a couple of requirements, but before we start doing that, we need to kind of like terraform it. We need to figure out what level I want the sheep to be on. Now, I think having a hilly area is going to look better, because whenever I've seen like kind of wild sheep farms in the past, they do have walls, but it reminds me of like hills and stuff. I don't think I'm going to allow the sheep on the hills at the top there, but there is kind of like this natural dip and raise in the area. And what I'm thinking is the pathway can kind of be the natural break, the natural hill. So all of this area will get like kind of terraformed back, maybe. And we go down like probably to that level. So anything below that gets filled in, which I've already filled in a lot around this area. So we're actually going to that level here, right? So we're still going quite far down, you know, that's like 3 levels down. So that'll be the lowest bit, and then the highest bit will probably be up where that creeper is there. Because there is, I will show you in a second when I've gotten rid of these mobs, because there is a natural chasm over here, which I don't want to necessarily, touch this bit here. That I'm thinking I'm going to leave open, so we will have like a wall to stop the sheep from going into all of that. So yeah, that is going to be, that's option 1, is to terraform that space. That's going to be, and probably light up that space as well. So that's option 1. Where did you spawn, sir? Where did you spawn? He came off the roof. Now, is that because he's a zombie that's been called for reinforcements, maybe? It could be that. So I don't think it's a natural spawning spot, so I think we're okay. But zombies that get hurt and call for more zombie reinforcements have different spawning mechanics than normal. So anyway, option number 1, start terraforming where those sheep are gonna go. That is, I'll be honest, that's kind of like my least favorite option out of the stuff. Option number 2, finish the path and the sides. Now, in order to do that, I think we would have to move this this bee farm. Now, because I don't know where that is going to be, that's going to be quite a bit of a challenge. We'll probably have to move it to a temporary spot and then move it again. So that is also not really something I'm necessarily 100% wanting to do, but I will do it if that is what you guys want to see me do. Option number 3. It's all infrastructure work today, unfortunately. Option number 3, work on the underground path that leads from the cozy bee farm here to the underground tunnel network that we've got. Because this does connect up to an underground tunnel network, but I was incorrect. It doesn't actually connect up, at least I don't think it does, naturally with the tunnel network that we've got underneath the house. I thought it was all one connected system. It isn't. It is separate, so we need to work on connecting these tunnels up, right, into the big cave, because the cave is where we're going to have the majority of our farms. The majority of our farms are going to be in this chamber here, although I'm thinking the bee farm will be somewhere slightly separate, right? But it will all connect up to here anyway. Like, we want a big underground network. And I'm thinking it would have to go in that direction. So that's option number 3, is to connect those up and then maybe do a pathway of kind so that it's traversable and we don't have to like jump up and down, and you know, we've got stairs in the way and that sort of stuff, and like probably wouldn't have time to decorate that today. But yeah. And option number 4, which is probably my favorite option, it's the one I'm feeling the most, hence why I named the stream this, is to start work on the plan of the villager zombie machine that is going to go in here. So basically it's just planning it out. It's just working out where all the blocks go, how it's going to work. I might build a mock-up of that in there to make sure it fits. I don't think I've got all the materials, so we would have to do like some material substitutes and things like that. But yes, also the plan, by the way, is also to have the villager breeder up there, and basically all you would have to do is have an input system of carrots here, hit a button, the carrots then get fed to the villagers feed and breed, and then drop down into like this little nook here, a bunch of villagers. So the villagers themselves, the villager breeder, that will be on display, that's up there, out of the way, and potentially a glass tube where a baby villager drops down and ages up here, and then we hit another button in this control room, which then brings the villager into the zombification machine, which is going to be like kind of here kind of thing. We hit another button, the zombie gets the villager gets zombified. We hit the button again, the zombie comes back down, then we treat it and do a job block, that sort of thing, right? And so yeah, that's what this chamber is going to be used for. So that's option number 4, and that's planning that out, like figuring out what is going where it's going, and that sort of thing, right? I have, whilst I've been off stream, I've only done a little bit, but I did clear up this basin a little bit more. I've got rid of quite a lot of like the granite and stuff from when you're looking at it from this point of view. And the reason why I did that was because I wanted to start envisioning where the villager trading, the villager trading hall is going to be. So I still haven't quite decided where that's going to go, but it's giving me an idea of different layers and levels, right? So we can have like a middle layer that can maybe have like house all of the books or something like that along the top there, all the books that we're going to need. Then the bottom layer is going to be like stones and things like that. I don't know. But in order for me to really properly prep that, we need to figure out, number 1, how many villagers we're going to need, and number 2, basically what the purposes are for. Then once we figured that out, then we can start villager breeding and putting them in and like designing where they're going to go, because potentially I'm going to have like separate chambers for different things, for different villages. So maybe we'd have all the books together, and we would have maybe have all the stick, like the one. So like if we've got the books there, then we can sell paper, you know what I mean? Like, and we can sell paper like right next to the villagers that are selling the books. I don't know, like little things like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean. I don't even know what I mean. But yeah, basically I want to make it as logical as possible, and we need to design that from the ground up, and that is something I would like to design purpose built in the world. I don't want to do that in a creative test world first. I want to build that all survival, because I know all the mechanics for it. I know how the villagers work. I know how to stack them all together. I know how to make them separate, that sort of thing. I know all of that. I don't need to figure that out. But yeah. Also, we need a villager stopping area for where the villagers kind of get placed after, and I think that's what this was going to be. So once the villagers have all been traded up, they've got the job allocations done and everything like that, or they've been some. Actually, you know what? Maybe this could be the job selector. Then we have an option from here to either send it back round here into this, or yeah, maybe that's what we do actually, or continuing on. So we're not going to need to zombify every single villager. That's the key there, because like the terracotta villagers don't need zombifying, so they're going to be the easiest ones to get. I'm not sure, but anyway, we've got 3 separate chambers basically that I want to utilize, and I want to utilize that for the villagers themselves. So that is option 4 of what we're going to do today. So it's all kind of like up to you guys. What do you guys want to see? Meanwhile, before we kind of make that decision, I am going to go around and I am going to harvest some carrots, because I want to heal my pick, my Silk Touch pick, which has taken a bit of a beating, like mining all of this out. I've done the majority of it, but mining like all of these bits and bobs out took a little bit of a beating with the pick. Actually, there's not really that much there, is there? But still, I know what I mean. So let's get some carrots, and we're gonna go and trade it with some villagers and get some emeralds. So yeah, that's the plan for today, or at least those are the options. I know which one I'm kind of. I don't want to influence what you guys want to do. I kind of know what I want to do, I think, but I'm happy to do any of those 4 options, and we'll kind of go through them all in a sec. I'll go through them from point 1 to point 4. That made sense in my head. I don't know if it makes sense. It's fine. It's fine. Don't think about it. In terms of future streams. So we're coming up to the launch of Kerbal Space Program. I am going to try and increase the amount of streams I'm doing so that we can stream more Kerbal. Minecraft will probably get side-stepped for Kerbal. Things that are not going to be affected probably... well, actually, I know it's not going to get affected, like, stream-wise. It'll be D&D, right? So we're not going to replace Dungeons and Dragons. That's the thing that at the moment I'm most proud of, stream-wise. Like, that's the thing that I have the most amount of fun with, and I'm not replacing that anytime soon. So, yeah, for people that like the D&D stuff, that's not gonna get replaced. That's definitely number 1 priority in terms of streaming. However, I do have a certain enthusiasm for Kerbal Space Program, and the main reason for that is because, I mean, that's kind of like where I started streaming with, and because the second game's coming out, I've definitely got the bug to play it And I have had it for a while, and I've kept that bug, and I've not messed around with that bug. Because reasons, right? I've not messed around with that bug. I've got it. Okay? But I haven't played Kerbal for like a year. That's what it feels like. Not properly. I've not properly played Kerbal for a year. Maybe even over a year, actually. It's been a while. And that's because I had a huge burnout with the game. I'm going to get rid of these birch logs. I'm going to turn them into sticks. Because I don't foresee myself needing them anytime soon. So I'm actually going to take some of these out. But we are going to go and plant some trees in a sec. Just to replace the sticks that I'm going to be using. Silky Smooth. I think it's just that needs healing. Cool. I did bring the rotten flesh that is completely useless, but we may as well trade it. See, I am gonna be able to make way more emeralds after I've done all of this zombification machine stuff, so I might just pull the trigger and do that today instead of letting you guys decide. Like I said, I'm gonna go through everything again in a sec. Oh, there's a wandering trader. I have emeralds. Let's see if he has bamboo. Like, that's the one thing I do not have and want. No bamboo. Does have coral, though, so I am gonna take the coral. Why the coral, you ask? Actually, I was kind of hoping for the coral flowers so we can put it on here, but I want to test something real quick. If I put that there, is that going to decay? I think we're good. I don't think it's going to decay, is it? Because it's touching the water. Oh, it did when I mined it, though. Maybe I needed Silk Touch to mine it. I'm curious. Try it number 2. Coral is... yeah, so you need Silk Touch, otherwise it dies. Okay, that's fine. That is still a cool block because it's quite similar to this. I mean, if you could replicate and reuse like coral, you could really use a like if it was easy to get coral, it would be so cool to use as a building block. But coral is a bit difficult to get hold of. You've got to go to a warm ocean. But yeah, I am going to save the red coral that I got left. So that could be used for something. I might just turn it all into dead fire coral, honestly. Maybe. I don't know. Gunpowder. Why do I have gunpowder in my inventory? Get out of my inventory. I've got a lot of gunpowder there, so maybe I need to not keep turning all of my paper into emeralds and turn them into rockets, because I know I'm running low on rockets. Okay, so let's just go through the options one more time. Yeah. So how is everyone today? What have you guys been doing? Okay, so option number 1, and this is probably my least favorite option. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna tell you what is my favorite and what is my disfavorite option, because that's making the results bias, right? Like, it's adding a bias of my own. So option number 1 is to terraform this kind of area and start the transition of the sheep grazing shepherd's hut thing. You know, natural sheep going around. They are not going to be multicolored. They would be probably white and light grey sheep. I'm not so keen on the normal grey sheep, so it would be probably white and light grey. So it will be a combination of the white and light grey sheep that are kind of going to be wandering the fields here. So that's option number 1, is to terraform this. Start terraforming that area, which is quite a boring, monotonous task, but it is a task that needs doing. Option number 2 is to work on this pathway. When I say work on the pathway, the path itself is fine. It's everything surrounding the path. We've got like these weird dips here, which don't need to be here. We need to fill that in. We need to terraform it. and we need to add like shrubbery or some form of decoration all the way along this path. Probably some custom trees. I wouldn't... Yeah, probably some custom trees, maybe like the odd birch and the odd oak thing here. By the way, I've got an idea on what I want on the top of this hill. I think I just want a giant oak tree. I think I want a giant oak tree right in the center, and along the way, just custom trees. I don't think I'm going to have anything particular. I don't think I'm going to have anything custom built. I probably will in this area, this flat bit down at the bottom, but on the hill at the back, I'm just going to have some custom trees. I think that's what I've decided, just so that it hides this a little bit better. Okay, so option number one, option number two is the working on the path, and that includes going all the way up to the edge of the boundary over there. Which could be quite difficult to get through. Option number three is to mine out or figure out a tunnel. When I say mine out, I'm probably going to decorate the tunnel as well as we go, right? Mine out the tunnel for the secret hidden passageway into the caves. So we need to get that tunnel looking natural, as though it's a naturally spawned cave, and we need to link it up with the underground. And option number four, like I was saying, is the villager trading hall. So that's a little bit more technical. We're probably not going to be doing too much redstone stuff with that project, but we can start planning out and figuring out what we need for it and where things are going to go. Most importantly, circuits and that sort of thing, where the actual mechanisms and things are going to go. So that's option number four. I certainly have a favorite out of those four, but I am happy doing whatever you guys want. I wouldn't give you the option if I didn't want to do it, or if it didn't need doing, because all four of those will need to get done eventually. I'm going to carve away at the dirt here. Not to replace it, I just want the dirt. Oh wow, this is a big pocket. This is a huge pocket. I didn't... Okay. Okay, I will actually need to replace bits of this so that we don't fall into the gaps and things. That's a huge amount of dirt. Hey, Sign, how's it going? So yeah, those are the options for what we're going to do today. I realize the stream does say that we're going to be working on villager trading, but I kind of like you guys kind of giving me a little bit of feedback on what you want to see. I'm kind of enjoying doing that, and have enjoyed doing that the last couple of streams, where I've just said, hey chat, what do you want me to do? What do you want to see today? So yeah, just let me know. Let me know. Those are the kind of like the four options that I've given you. Maybe I should do a poll. People might not be feeling confident to say in the stream. I mean, and I also kind of guess that if people just generally aren't that bothered, then I'll just pick something myself. I'll pick something that's completely boring. But yeah. So, just a quick recap. Option number one is terraforming outside, ready for the sheep pen, just to make that a little bit more prettier, figuring out where things are going to go, where the wall's going to go, where the sheep are going to live, and where the hut is going to be. So that's option number one. Option number two is working on the pathway outside. Option number three is the tunnel. My last few I did in Minecraft was collecting netherite. Yeah, I'm not doing that today. That's way too tedious for what I have in mind. Option number three is to work on this tunnel, which will link up to the bee farm. And option number four is the villager zombification machine. Those are your four options today. And like I said, I do have a favorite out of those, but I'm going to not say anything. The reason why I've got the zombification machine plan in the thing is because this is what we were working on last stream. What would that even do? The zombification machine? So basically the idea of the machine, this is my broad idea. We need to kind of like plan this out in more detail, but we have a chamber up there, which is a villager breeder. The villager breeder filters into a small chamber on this side in here. From here, we would get a minecart. Minecart would then go off to a zombie. The zombie, at a flick of a switch, will then zombify the villager. The villager then gets cured, and at another flick of a switch, he can be zombified again, and so on and so forth. He can stay there, or he moves on to a chamber up here, which is kind of like a waiting chamber. From the waiting chamber, he gets his jobs allocated, right? So that is the idea in my head. However, it might be more efficient to allocate the jobs in here before he gets zombified. Why would you even do that? Because you get reduced rates on trades when you zombify and then cure a villager. So you get discounts. And if you do it enough times, you can get pretty much everything for 1 emerald. So this is all in aid of a massive villager trading hall down at the bottom. So that's kind of like, it's a big overall project, and we're just starting on it today. If that is what you want me to do. So, for instance, I can give you an example here. This villager has been zombified and cured. I found him as a wandering zombie villager. Instead of getting the 32 sticks for 1 emerald, it's 27 sticks for 1 emerald. If you keep zombifying him and then cure him, that comes down to 1 stick for 1 emerald. This is a normal villager. This is 32 sticks for 1 emerald. Hey T-Man, how's it going? Yeah, this week was big for space. Did you see the static fire of the of Starship? Pretty cool, right? Does not sound like something I would do. What? To make everything nice and efficient with your emeralds? It's just basically a zombie tactic. Yeah, you did. Nice. So yeah, option number 1, I will recap. Option number 1, because all 4 of these things will get done eventually, right? But it depends what you guys want me to do today, like what you want me to see. So option number 1 is right over there in the distance where the sheep are, is to terraform that ready for the sheep. Terraform and then potentially plan out where the wall is going to be for the sheep grazing field, which will also have like a shepherd's hut and maybe some like custom bushes and that sort of thing to make it look very natural. But that's where the natural sheep are going to be, and then underneath that, that's where the massive sheep farm's going to be, and that all needs to be connected up to the tunnels. So that's option number 1, is to do that. Option number 2 is to work on the pathway that goes up to here and round to the back. Not necessarily the path itself, it is more the surrounding areas of the path. We will probably go to about there. Probably not, I'm going to ignore that bit from there onwards. Option number 3 is to dig a tunnel from the beekeeper's hut, which you can't really see from that window, and link that underground tunnel up to the underground tunnel, the underground cave that we've got here, where our farms are going at the moment. And option number 4 is villages. Do you know what? I'm going to make a poll. I'm going to make a poll today, I think. Manage poll. Create a new poll. What to do? What to do? Terraform. Terraform sheep field. Work on path to house. Underground bee farm tunnel. Bee tunnel. And villager zombification. I will give it we'll say 5 minutes. We'll start the poll. So there we go. So yeah, let me know what you want to do. Vote on the poll. For the time being, I'm just going to go and plant some trees and stuff. I'm wondering if they need to go for another static fire to get all the engines up and running. Yeah, so what I understand, one of the engines cut down prematurely, and the other one didn't fire, right? But everything else went perfectly. From what I understand from that. It was good though, very good, like the fact that they were able to get all of the engines running. And I believe the like everything went off without a hitch kind of thing, right? So they don't necessarily need to do stuff. What should we plant here? Should we plant? We'll do a bunch of birch. I have a feeling I'm going to be using birch. Actually, birch and oak, because I'm low on both. We'll do 12. And 12. Let's do 12 and 12 saplings, and we'll spread them out. The pad did amazing. I'm shocked at that. The pad? Yeah, it did. Where should we plant these? I guess here. 1, 2. Actually, let's just do them in a line. It's probably easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. We might lose out on saplings there, but we gain wood, which is kind of what I want. So we'll do that. How are we doing with the poll at the moment? Okay, so it's joint between sheep farm and villager zombification. Okay. What else can we do while I'm waiting? I'll tell you what, I want to turn these into honey blocks so I can filter in some more of... I need to just be careful with this because we don't need this to kind of... I need more bottles. That's what I need. I need to fill those dispensers with bottles. That's one of the problems with this bee farm, is the fact you do need a lot of glass bottles, because if you run out, you can cause issues. Where do I normally put my honey? I don't have... Like, it takes so long to get actual honey blocks. It's kind of ridiculous. I haven't found a reason to use honey blocks, though, in a contraption yet. I'm probably going to end up using it in some sort of door sticky piston thing, but... yeah, I don't know yet. Do you know what I do need honey blocks for? If I was to build Pixel Rift's what's it machine? Brain work. What did I want anyway? I wanted some whatever. Tomorrow is Starlink launch. Yeah, did you see that SpaceX hit their 200th launch? Well, actually, I don't know if it is 200 launches. It might be 200 launches, but it's definitely not 200 payloads to orbit. For Falcon 9, that is. I'm not counting Falcon Heavy. I need glass. That's what I need. Here we go. Oh, I didn't collect the XP with my pick. Damn it. Okay, well, he should restock in a sec. Yeah, it's 200th launch, but I don't know if it is 200. But with Heavy, it'll probably be 300th? No, Heavy's not done through 100 launches. Heavy has not done 100 launches, dude. Probably like 206 or something like that. How many heavy launches have we had? 7, 8? Okay, so it's a tie between the sheep farm and villager zombification. Okay, we're gonna go and do the sheep farm then. So field terraforming. So I'm gonna change the sheep field main project. Cool. We'll go with that. Terraforming project. I don't know if I spelt that correctly, but that's what we'll work on then today. We'll do that. I'll make the executive decision, and even though it's a split, it's a joint vote, we'll go with this here. I believe this was actually reserved for this project, or maybe it was just like the scrappy seconds. Okay, so what we need to figure out is the boundary. How far are we going with this thing? With heavy, it will probably be 300th. No, I'm pretty sure. I saw a video where villagers were unable to jump normally when standing on a high block because of being sticky. Yes, they can't like jump onto blocks basically like this, right? So nothing can. If you stand on a honey block at all, actually that's how I did my villager hall. The redstone hall, right? But no one can. So if I'm on a honey block, I cannot jump. I can't jump. Nothing can. It's a sticky block. Not like slime, where slime makes you bounce. Honey has the opposite. But they have interesting redstone properties because honey and slime do not stick to each other, which means that you can kind of chain them up with pistons, and you can do like massive piston doors with honey and slime. SpaceX changed the launch numbers because of heavy, so technically it was the Falcon's 200th launch with heavy, which is interesting. SpaceX changed the launch numbers because of heavy. Right, okay. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to turn these into glass bottles, and then we're going to put them back in the what's it? How many did we make? We made a stack and a half, so that's okay. Okay, so if that's what we're gonna do today, then if that's what we're gonna do, we need to start figuring out where the sheep farm's going to be. I'm shocked that they streamed the static fire. They never do that. It's probably because it was a big, momentous occasion, right? Like, this is the first time that all of the engines have been on. So I think that's why they did it. I'm just going to get rid of, like, half of the crap around here that I've left. Why is this not oxidizing? Weird. I'll put the oxidized copper in here. Okay, so, delayed countdown clock was hilarious. I didn't actually watch the live stream. I was working, which is usually the case. Okay, so I think the first thing we're going to do with this, we're going to bring up the bottom layer by 1. Now, this is going to take quite a lot of dirt and grass, so I'm literally going to... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to load up one of these shulker blocks. I have 1 deep slate diamond ore in there? Are you kidding me? That's so pointless. I'm actually going to go and, like, take all of this grass, because I've got loads of dirt, loads of grass, and we're going to take all of it, because I have a feeling I'm going to need it. So we'll just, like, put it all in a shulker box here. I could make another shulker box for this, actually, because we do have shulkers. What is this? Is this the redstone? A little bit of leftover redstone, yes. That's okay, we can put that in there. Okay, actually, we're also gonna like empty out my inventory a little bit, just because we don't need that. We do need that always. We probably don't need the axe because we're not going to be chopping down wood. Actually, yeah, no, we will be chopping down wood. And tell you what, I don't need the torches. I'm running low on fireworks by the looks of it. Oh, I've still got a stack there, so that's good. We'll put that in there just so I know where it is. Oh, we got more stuff. Supposed to put this away. Got quite a lot of diamonds there. Well, more than what I would normally have. Do not need the wooden button. I'm sorry, I just don't need it. You can regrow wood, so it's fine. I'm going to keep the dirt with me. I am also going to go down into the pit here and see if we can find some more dirt. Because I have a feeling we're going to need a lot of dirt here. So when I talk about terraforming, actually I might empty out one of my shulker boxes and use it also for dirt. I think the rest of these are empty, right? Oh, that's got carrots in. Might be some more dirt up here. It was delayed by 5 seconds. It was hilarious, and all the birds just scattered afterwards. Yeah. No, I didn't see it. So I've only seen I've seen clips. I saw Scott Manley's video about it. Okay, there's actually not that much dirt down here. I thought there was more. I probably am gonna have enough dirt anyway, but still, it's good to check all of my different junk chests. I've got junk here. Do I have any? I've got coarse dirt. I don't want to use the coarse dirt just yet. But we will use the grass and the normal dirt. Okay, I think that's everything. See, this is why I keep all of this junk, even though it's oh, we got loads of grass blocks here. Let's get my other shulker box out. We got dirt even in the... What's it? In fact, I'm going to put all of this away. We're going to take all of the odd bits and bobs out, and I'm going to put that in one of these. So we'll take the dirt out, and we'll replace it with these little odd bits and bobs that I've just got knocking around. Oh, we got loads of dirt in here as well. No, I need that. Dumbo. That's that done. Okay, so that should be enough dirt to get me going. Do I still have more? I've got some more grass there. I've got more honey blocks there. I've got a lot of honey blocks there. Here's me thinking I didn't have that much honey blocks. I am gonna sleep though. You was on pad 41 for Centaur 5 stacking. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Exciting, man. How did you swing that? Just clear out the mobs. Get out of here. They hit hard. I am actually going to move these trees, so we need to start knocking them down. I shouldn't have put them where they were. But it's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We good. I've got a zombie coming up behind me, haven't I? Yeah. Let's put my junk in one of these chests over here. Ugh. Getting surrounded by crap. just didn't want to deal with the leaf block, honestly. Okay, so in terms of terraforming, I think there are a few things that we need to figure out. So number one, we need, what do we want here? So let's maybe make a list of everything that we want, and then we can start putting it down. And in fact, to do that, I'm probably going to go and get some signposts so that we can kind of see it. Got some ULA guys, got with some ULA guys, and got a tour of 41 to watch Vulcan stacking. It was so cool. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Oh man, if I wish I lived out there. That would be so cool. I need that so badly. Talking with some SpaceX guys as well, I might be able to watch Falcon launch from mission control. No! Oh, that's so cool, man. I'm a little bit jealous, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm jealous, dude. Not gonna lie. Right, okay, so this is what we need to do. So we need to, first, option number one, we need to fill in grass. That's part one. Part two, work on the wall. Part three, place foundation decoration. Oops. Place foundation decoration. And part four is mark out the shepherd hut. So those are kind of like the 4 stages, I think. So let's get working on this bit, I guess. All right, let's, so basically what I want to do, I want to bring everything up to this level here. I think this is as far down as this whole area is going to go, because this is just too low down. You can barely see it from that window. I want everything to be able to be seen from that window. So we're going to fill in all of this. I'm just going to start getting dirt. And we're just literally going to start filling stuff in. Actually, maybe there is a part 2, 1B. 1B, light the area. Whoops. That's 1B. Okay, that's part 1B. So this is going to take a while. I want to kind of like figure out where. Let's fill in this creeper hole first. The sad part is I couldn't take any photos because of ITAR. So that's the sticky part. Yeah, but I mean, just the experience itself is great. You don't need to take photos because of that, you know. It's fine. Like, the fact that you were there is like enough. I don't know if I want it to come out this far, so actually I'm going to start bringing it back this way. We'll kind of go to there. Up the entire time. Yeah, I can imagine. I will fill this bit in though, so that's going to look weird. This is going to take a while, and I have firmly believed that I'm probably going to run out of dirt, but that's okay. We can go and find some more dirt underground. Why am I getting all of my dirt from underground? Because if I take it from the top here, I'm effectively just moving the mountain, right? I'm shaving down the mountain and moving it. Whereas if I take it from underground, I'm not gonna have that dirt underground anyway. I just fill that in with normal stone, right? Just to make it look better. I don't like dirt underground unless it's in like special places kind of thing, like for an exact reason. I don't like it the way it randomly generates underground. I never have. I think visually it looks really, really bad. Same with like the granite and the andesite and the diorite. I just think the way that they randomly generate, it's just an eyesore. It doesn't look right. In my opinion, the way that they should have done that, and they had the perfect opportunity to code this in the last update, is they have like granite biomes, diorite biomes, that sort of thing, or maybe underground lush caves, which they do have. But instead of in the lush caves, they could have put dirt down there and like grass and things like that, grass blocks. That's the only place where you get grass underground, is in the lush caves. They've kept with the fact that it just randomly spawns in like pockets, and I hate that. I hate that. They had the option to make that look really, really cool in Minecraft, like these wonderful like vistas, and I feel like they kind of lost out on that a little bit. So this is actually a big project today, working on this. Andesite kind of fits in with stone. Correct, it does. Granite sticks out too much, so does diorite shearing. Yeah, andesite is okay. I do use andesite when I'm naturally terraforming stone anyway. But then I also use like dead coral blocks sometimes, and cobblestone, which doesn't naturally generate. Like neither of those naturally generate. You have to make them out of other things. I'm already out of dirt. This is not a good sign, the fact that I've done like that much and I'm already out. Here, I'm gonna put all of my junk away in the shulkers, and then we'll just end up with like a couple of shulkers worth of junk. Guys went to Slick 37, so they had a Delta 4 ready to go. Ooh, boy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm quite jealous, not gonna lie. I'm gonna say that multiple times, but yeah. I gotta say, 37 is way cooler than 41, just saying, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Delta is pretty cool, pretty cool in general, right? Like, it's gonna be a shame to see Delta 4 go, but it is an old rocket now. It is showing signs of age. So what I'm doing right now, if you're just popping in, I am basically terraforming this area here. I'm bringing it up one level. This is where sheep are going to naturally graze. We're going to build like a nice stone wall. I'm going to take inspiration from probably the Peak District. Like we'll have like this functional stone wall, right? That's the idea. But in order for me to do that, I need to kind of like terraform this area. We need to make it a little bit easier for me to wall it off. So we do have requirements for this area. Requirement number 1 is no mobs are allowed to spawn in this area. Number 2, no mobs are allowed to get in the area. And number 3, the sheep are not allowed to get out of the area. That's it. Those are the only requirements that I have. I know vaguely I want some form of building inside the sheep. Or maybe even outside of the sheep pen. Maybe outside of the sheep pen, that might be better. But yeah, I want some form of like shepherd's hut. I know I want a lot of like bushes. Maybe some hedgerow of kinds. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure what I want. pretty excited this week. So might be in mission control tomorrow for Starlink. No way, dude. That's amazing. Now, that is not embargoed by ITAR, so I expect photos from there. Obviously, if you're allowed. No sensitive data in mission control, right? Like, what sensitive data is in there? Actually, I presume that mission control probably is embargoed by ITAR. Might be able to play KSP in mission control, that'd be cool. So, yeah, going back to KSP, I'm gonna go and bring the bed that I've got in the bee farm out here so that we can sleep through the night, so that we're not doing this at night time. Actually, let's sleep here first. And then we'll bring the bed out. Oh, I thought that was a fucking creeper then. It's not even green. Like, what was that? Talking of creepers. Let's do this a little bit. I think this is what we were working on. Stop doing that. The ultra move if you want to play KSP properly. Yeah. I think so, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to Kerbal too. I've got plans for that. I've got plans for it. Like I said, I'm probably gonna up my streaming schedule a little bit, so I will stream. Maybe. I'm not saying this 100%, but I'll probably stream like after work on occasion. Just because, you know, it's quite a special game. For anyone who knows me, the first game is incredibly special for me. It pretty much taught me rocket science. That being said, that makes me sound like I actually know what rocket science. I know rocket. I don't. I know bare basics from Kerbal Space Program, right? But yeah, it got me interested into like real life spaceflight, as opposed to science fiction, which I'm still interested in science fiction. Don't get me wrong, but you know, there's something special about real life spaceflight because it's real, I guess. Click, 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 click. ULA guys might send me out here for the last Delta launch in person. Wow. That's, yeah, when is that scheduled? You're the resident go-to, T-Man. You're the resident go-to. When is that actually scheduled? You seem to know. You at the moment definitely know more than me about like spaceflight stuff, like just in general. I think because you're living and breathing it out there, I haven't had the time to keep in touch with a lot of the spaceflight news. I hate that I haven't had that time, but at the end of the day, my job has taken precedence. And will continue to do so while I'm working there. Just to make myself completely transparent, I actually really enjoy what I do, so... Next January... Oh, so next January is the last Delta launch, I see. So that's a little bit further ahead than I thought. That's after Vulcan comes online. Because I'm expecting Vulcan to come online this year. I think everyone is, right? Like... I mean, Vulcan is almost ready. It's almost ready. It's almost there. It's, you know... It's all at the Cape, mostly. Do you have any insider knowledge on the steps for Vulcan yet? I'm curious. I want to know. Like I said, you're the go-to guy. You're the one that knows. I think a zombie... multiple... It's not just a zombie, there's definitely something that's been buried under there. So that means that there's a dark spot underneath here, so we'll have to find that. Do you know what I don't have? I don't have a drink. And my mouth is already getting dry. Actually, oh wait, no, I do. I've got water here. Panic averted. Okay, so this is pretty much layer 1 done here. So this is going to be the lowest point for the sheep to graze. This is the lowest point for the sheep, right? So the sheep will not be able to go any lower than this. This is the natural dip. And the reason why I've made it here, this layer, is because pretty much everything from the house over there, you can see when you're this high, right? So I'm looking... So one of the things that we're kind of like focusing on is the view that you're going to have from that window, right? So you can see everything from here. You can't see the window here, so when the sheep are kind of like over here, you can hear. And like all of this you can see, all of this you can see until the... Yeah. But yeah, if you went like a bit lower, the natural terrain kind of like blocks what you can see. Okay, next step. I'm going to take this up temporarily. I have a feeling this is probably going to come back though, because I do need to pull out this layer. Just a little bit. This bit's going to be fine, so I'm going to leave this open. This bit's okay. But I just want to start adding a little bit of variety so that the slope isn't as aggressive. Because in sheep farms... Well, actually, this is not necessarily true, not necessarily accurate. I guess if I were going to put, like, goats in here, I would make it very extreme. Like peaks and stuff. But because they're sheep, we will fill in a little bit more of this kind of thing. Because I am going to leave that peak up there, so I just want to blend it in a little bit better and figure out where it's going to go. And this is just a little bit more kind of random. We need to do this kind of like around this bit here and probably around that bit. So I think we just work on this like layer by layer kind of thing. Until we're out of dirt, and then when we're out of dirt, we go into the tunnels and we find some dirt veins and we go and mine them up. Just trying to make this look a little bit more natural. Which is a little bit more tricky than you would think. There is secret hidden cavern there, so that's getting torched. Cover that up. The small launcher went successfully. Didn't... Electron go out of Wallops? Is that what you're talking about? Sure, they flew from Wallops, didn't they? Not that long back. Don't know if that was this week, last week, or when. I'm going to take this bit off here. This bit isn't part of the sheep farm, so we can just iron this out a little bit. Just make it look a little bit nicer, but it doesn't need to kind of go by the same rules. Okay, let's go over to this bit over here and let's just tidy this up. We'll bring it from here. I'm just going to bring this out. Again, it's a matter of, at this level, you can see this area from that window. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's kind of my driving motivation, but at the same time, we don't want to bring it up too high. So I don't want to fill in too much. ISRO, SSLV. First launch failed, but they did a second launch a day ago and successfully. An Electron did go up finally, which is cool. Yeah, I know that Electron went up from Wallops, which has been planned for a while, right? Like they've been planning to do a launch from Wallops for a long time, and it's finally gone up. I didn't know about ISRO. I didn't know about the India one. So what? That was the small launch vehicle. So what payload does that have? I can't think what it looks like off the top of my head. It's probably just very similar to a lot of the other Indian launch vehicles, right? But yeah. Maybe I want to save these. I have no shears. Let's go and get some shears. Do you have some spare shears? Yeah, I'm going to take those. Never know when vines can come in handy, so we will save those. I'm going to shave this away a fraction. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is looking good. This is looking good along this side. I want to bring this out a little bit more now. Just making this look a little bit more natural is all. Yeah, that looks good. And then because I've done that, I've got a little bit more wiggle room around here. Just to bring this up a layer. Kind of similar to Vega. Okay. Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think what it looks like, so I'd have to reference an image from it. I didn't know that they, I knew that they were doing a small launch vehicle. I vaguely knew that it didn't go very well the first time. I remember that. You know, it didn't really do what it needed to do. But I didn't know that they were relaunching it. Okay, so decisions need to be made at this point. This I want to use. I want to utilize this bit, but ooh. Obviously there needs to be some form of wall that goes around here. So I want the sheep to get onto this plateau here. Want them to be able to get on there. And I'm thinking I want to pull this out. That's what I want to do. I want to pull this bit out, and then we've got more room to play with. So I'll pull this out a little bit further. That, I'm probably going to ignore this bit. So the sheep are not going to get onto there. So all of this bit, this is not going to be the sheep pen, this bit here. This is too high for them. That's the highest bit that they're going to be. So, but we do want to leave this in. I'm not going to get rid of it. So we're not going to terraform this. We're going to leave that. So let's kind of figure out where the sheep need to stop. And I'm thinking maybe this height here, because it's the same height as what's over there, right? So it kind of makes sense that the majority, like, it kind of equals out onto this height. India's launch vehicles are very interesting. Is it the Polar launch vehicle that has an SRB center stage? I believe so, I'm not sure. I haven't really studied India's launch vehicles. So, I could be wrong with this. Let me have a look. Dun, 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 dun. Propellant HTPB, which is, I believe, solid. So they've got solid boosters on the side. So they've got solid boosters on the side, and the main booster is also a solid booster, yes. First stage HTPB, yeah. Second stage is it tetrazine, nitrogen tetroxide, which is what they used in the USSR rockets. And then the third stage is also a solid rocket booster. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of like booster core for the PSLV is solid, then liquid, then solid. It's really weird. Yeah, I remember. Here, I shall show you an image of it, because I'm looking at it now. So you've got These side boosters here, they're solid boosters. The center core here, that's also a solid booster. Then you've got this secondary stage, which is a liquid. And then you've got an upper stage up here, which is solid. It's really bizarre. It's an interesting way of doing it. Because you wouldn't normally have a solid booster up at the top. But that's what they've went with. I believe this segment here is like derived from a USSR rocket, but I'm not sure. And the first lunar probe, which didn't work, was launched on one of these. That's how I know that, because I remember that stream. Yeah, that's like PSP solid for Delta 4, yeah, exactly. It's an interesting way of doing it. So, it is arguably a cool rocket, I would say. Anyway, back to the Minecraft. Back to Minecraft. Enough about space, otherwise you'll get me talking about it for ages. And I haven't, like, properly looked into these things for ages, so it'll be, like, really wibbly-wobbly knowledge. Okay, so I'm now at the point where I want to shave little bits of this away. Just so that it's a little bit more curved, natural terrain. Like I said, I don't want this being as steep as it is, so we can shave bits of this away. Yeah. I can add a little bit into this as well. Just a little bit, not much. It's raining in Minecraft. Who'd have thought? Whoops. Antares 230, because they're making a new variant of Antares thanks to Firefly. Well, I don't think it's just Firefly is the reason why they're making a new variant of Antares. It's because the Russian boosters that they used for Antares are not available currently due to geopolitical reasons. But that being said, they were always planning on getting rid of like Antares anyway, so it's like, okay. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's not the sole reason. There is a hole under here. Still want that plateau. Whoops. Okay. So I'm thinking that is a good kind of ballpark for where I want the sheep to go. So I think terraforming is pretty much done. I realize it doesn't look that much different. In my opinion, this just looks a lot neater, right? Like it's just neater terrain. It's not... You'll take Neutron though. Well, I mean, that's if they... Yeah, I guess, yeah. Neutron also is going to fly from Wallops, isn't it? So I guess, yeah. There's a little bit there that we can probably plug in a little bit better, actually. So we'll go and do that. So I didn't need all my dirt. I thought I was going to need more than what I actually have. I thought I was going to have to go and mine for some dirt, but actually it's not too bad. There's no like specific rule that I'm using for this, by the way. I'm just placing it and kind of looking to see if it looks right. Like, it's literally just a matter of placing blocks and... yeah. Which I think it's looking better. It's looking good. It's looking good. I like this area. Okay, so I'm liking this area a lot more now. It's giving me a little bit more inspiration. So, what is going to be step number 2? Step number 2. So we've filled in all the grass. I'm happy with the grass. That's all done. I've got a little bit of dirt left over, but not that much, actually. Do I have... oh, I've got loads of dirt in here, though. So, yeah. Okay, so we've got loads of dirt left. So we've done that. So let's get rid of this. Light the area is the next objective. I should be able to do this fairly quickly. So this is why this is like 1B. It's just... we're doing this just so that we don't get mobs spawning while we're working on this. And actually, nighttime is the best time for me to do this because you can really see where you need a torch. Now, the next question is whether or not the sheep are going to be in this area as well, up on the top. I think I am going to let them. I think I'm going to bring them as close to the path as I can be bothered to. This also will need to be changed at some point. So I guess the next job after I've placed down all the torches is figure out where the wall is going to be. Mark out the wall. And this will be a matter of just marking out like building blocks that we can easily destroy. Do you know what we should do? Marking out the wall? We should just get the wool. So I've got like an abundance of wool. Should just get wool and mark it out that way. Figure out exactly where that wall is going to go, but that will require me to move these. I need to go and get like something actual to drink. Coffee or something. I'm having a weird moment with my eyes again. It must be computer screens that are doing it, like straining my eye. I need to like step back a little bit. I don't think it's necessarily the computer screen. I think it's the I've said this before, the microphone in my peripherals. I think that's the cause. Ah, that's better. Now I can't hear anything, but that's better. Take off my glasses for a little bit. Causes compression on my head. Okay, so we've lit the area as well. Excellent. Well, mostly. There was a little bit of it area that we didn't light up, actually. Let's go and get some more torches, though. Torch spam. I know I have more torches somewhere. I'll tell you what I can do though. Let's put down like these foliage things. The birch can go away in here. This birch log was 4 sticks. Stone. I'm running low on stone as well by the looks of it. And decide, where's my gravel storage? Gravel storage is up here. And dirt, grass can go in the dirt box now. Oops, not that one. Just putting a few things away. Okay. You are going to be closed. Should always close that door behind me just in case. I am going to pick up all of these saplings. Just so that we can replace the ones that we've... I remember I used to play on a server that had like auto plant on the saplings. It was the most annoying thing because as soon as you chop down a tree, like 5 would sprout. Oh, this is where I put my torches. Apparently I put them in there. Okay, so part number 2, work on a wall. Wait, let's continue the lighting actually. Let's light this area around here. I didn't get a chance to do. I'm just going to go out as far as like here kind of thing, because I don't think this sheep playground thing is going to go any further. They had to clear out the flame trench for gators. I bet that's a daily occurrence, actually. I bet that's something you have to do. They have to do, like, whenever there's a launch, they have to clear out for, like, gators and things. Weirdly, isn't surprising. And take up all of the oxidized copper. Why am I oxidizing my copper, you might ask? I've got no purpose, I've got no plan for the actual copper itself. I just want it oxidized so that when I come around to building with copper, which I probably will, sooner rather than later, I have options in terms of the ability kind of like to cut the copper down and then shave it off with the axe kind of thing, so it can be any color that it needs to be. They're really close, that's probably why that's not oxidizing. So that's why I'm doing that. It just gives me options. Okay, let's... I mean, this is what we could do. We could go and get the like a bunch of red wool or like different colored wool and things like that, and we'll just recycle that. So we've got a lot of those like kind of blocks and they're fairly easy to break. Kind of like how I've done in the past actually. But we need to design a wall for that, but today isn't necessarily about designing that. It's just a matter of like marking out where different things are going to be. Wait. One more thing I want to check real quick. I do have some shears. I've got both pairs of shears up here, so... Will you not do that? Oh. Ferns. Jungle saplings. Got ferns. That's actually not bad. I will take some ferns. They're a little bit more tricky to get hold of. So this is a different wandering trader than the one I already traded with, which threw me a little bit. Don't need the jungle saplings, don't need anything else here. So yeah, I'll take the ferns though. They're pretty fun. Just as a decoration, really. You are not allowed in here, sir. You didn't see anything. You can go along about your business. Yeah, I'm fairly convinced that I didn't mean to do that. Well. Okay, I'm gonna take all of the wool here. I realize it's gonna be a load of mismatched colors. I've done that so many times. Too much of a cheapskate to make them all one color with the dyes. Plus, we can reuse this wool at some point. Okay, so let's get the white wool first. I'm just gonna start marking out a boundary of where we could put this sheep farm. This random freaking string just lying on the ground. So random. Okay, so I'm thinking there will be an entrance to this. The entrance is going to be kind of here, kind of thing. This sort of a thing, right? So we've got a wall that kind of goes in this direction. I hate wool. Why am I doing this out of wool? I don't know. So probably around here, right? And I'm just gonna bring this around and we'll just kind of like see where it goes. Don't want to do too many like diagonals though. Yeah. I'll tell you what, let's go from up at the top actually, because then I'll kind of like know where. I think that it's better to do it from up here because I kind of like know where I want the wall to be. So the wall, remember we don't want the sheep getting out, so the wall definitely is going to be right on the back of this kind of thing. So they're not allowed to escape. And I think bring it down like that kind of thing, like that. And it can be straight, I think. I'll use other colors as well, just to... I'm really marking out a boundary here. For the most part, it can be fairly straight. Probably bring it in here. So we're not going anywhere near that terrain. Because something I don't want zombies to be able to walk in, right? So do have to be careful where I'm putting different parts. We don't want the sheep getting out, we don't want the zombies walking in. Those are like our 2 requirements for the wall. It needs to be functional, basically. I'm probably going to get rockets in a sec just to really look at where this is going. Yeah, I'll put it in the red. Why not? Something like that, right? so that's kind of like connected all up. Let's go and get some more wool. Now, okay, so when I'm talking about like walling, it needs to be, you know, it needs to actually work, but we also want to be able to see into it. So this is where it gets a little bit difficult, because maybe we could utilize fencing for bits of it. Like we can have fence posts, maybe. We could do like stone wall. I'm not sure. So I'm actually going to move this back a little bit. I'm actually going to utilize this boundary there. We'll kind of like walk around this. I have like no colors of wool left, which is hilarious. I'm not going to make it to where I want to go with the wool. We're nearly done it, actually. And then we can, like, I mean, this is just an approximation of where things are gonna go, right? Like, the wall doesn't have to go this far, and the reason why I'm using the wool is because it stands out, right? Like, it's bright colors, it stands out. You can see clearly where that boundary is. Okay, let's get some rockets going, and then we'll see how this looks. From far away. I'll tell you what, let's stop up here. So what are we thinking about that? How do we feel? I mean, we could bring it down a little bit further in here. We could like make the most out of this area. Like maybe we could just go across there and then come back that way. Or maybe this little area here is where the shepherd's hut could be. No, I kind of want something over there. Do I want something over there? No, I think the shepherd's hut does have to be over on this side, because that is where the sheep are going to be able to climb up and down. So there's going to be like bushes and stuff to accent the hill. I actually really like that gradient that we've created there with that hill. I think I've done a good job. Everything else is fine. Yeah, so we want to bring this round. I really want to stretch it round this way, then come up and over. So we'll make it a little bit bigger. And potentially bring it right up to the path. Actually, no. I want to leave a gap there, because maybe this is where the shepherd's hut goes. It's like the shepherd's hut's on the path, then in the background you've got the sheep. That makes more sense, right? And it'll be easier to connect up the sheep farm to the tunnels, because there is a huge hole there. So yeah, sheep hut is going here. Sure, so let's figure out. So I want to take down this section of the wall, and we're gonna go and like bring the outline out round a little bit more. Okay, sounds like a good plan. Okay, these guys. Oh no, my. Where is the other one? Yeah. Good boy. Where is he? There he is. There you go. You can sit right on the off the path there. Just sit right there. You're fine there. That's a good dog. Okay. What was I going to do? I was going to go and sleep. Before I fix the rest of this wall place here, because eventually I do want to turn all that wall into like one color of wool so we can differentiate between the wall and other buildings that I'm going to put in. Other different areas. I just want to have a look at something. So when I do this, what is this showing? It shows a little bit of the farm area around there. Doesn't show all of it though. A sheep must have just ate one of the pieces of land there because it just like turned brown while I was holding it. That's funny. That means that a sheep has ate. I think we're gonna focus on the white. A sheep has ate like a piece of grass, which is funny. Alright, let's get some more white wool. I've only got 5 from that. Okay, well that's helpful. So instead of it coming down here, I think I want to utilize this a little bit more. Can bring it round, and we can keep like these little pieces in, just to make it a little more natural. So maybe here we just pull this back a little bit. Wool is so annoying to break. I shouldn't have used wool. I should have used like... Well, I didn't want to use dirt because that's even more annoying. Again, temporary blocks. I just want to figure out where this is going. And I really wanted to bring it out this far. And then, like, loop it back round. I think it was, like, kind of looping around in this direction. Little bit tedious doing it this way, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. I can handle it. I'm a big boy. I just want a unique shape. I don't want a circle. And it was looking very circly from above. Okay, let's see how that looks. That is a big diagonal, but that's okay. Let's have a look. That's a little bit nicer. I like that. So this area is going to be reserved for a sheep. Let me just land up here. So that area there is going to be reserved for a sheep. I would have placed blocks every few blocks instead of a few lines of blocks. Yeah, I know. That's not a bad idea. That's how I should have done it. Or I should have done it in torches, right? Like, lined out the torches. But the reason why I did it, like, as a solid line is so that from afar, you can really see where it is. So that's kind of why I did that. Yeah, so in terms of the sheep, I'm actually tempted to bring it all the way around that bit and then bring it down and then hook in. So this entire piece there all gets hooked in. I'm tempted to do that. And then bring it really close up to the path and then bring it back round. What do we think? What do we think with that idea? Like, bring it really far around. You've got to be kidding me. Target acquired. Don't try and, like, place the block down and pretend you didn't pick it up. I saw you. I saw you. Oops, nearly died. Oh, this is going to be a mistake? No, we're good. That is the mistake. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, so I think a little bit further in that direction, that just fills that entire area. And we just place loads of, like, small bushes and things inside the area. But for the most part, it's just going to be grass filled with sheep. How many sheep we're going to have, I'm not sure yet. What time is it? Okay, I'm going to go and quickly have a quick break. Just to go and get some something to drink real quick, then we'll be back shortly. And we can start work on the next, like, little bits, like working out where the bushes are going to go. So there's going to be like a little bush section. I might have a look at, like, different designs for walls and things, and maybe come up with, like, a small template of different designs. But yeah, I'm gonna be back in a sec, so just bear with me. And I'm back. Hi. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, I've kind of decided, I'm actually going to start looking at point number 3 on our thing. So the reason why I'm not going to continue working with the work on the wall, we're actually going to place foundation decoration. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to continue working on the wall itself. That's going to be like point number 2. I think that's the continuing on what we're going to be doing. I also do have a nice big hot drink. It's good. I made a herbal tea. So no caffeine. Just herbal tea. Sorry, I've got, like, moisturizer on my hands and they're all sticky. You didn't need to know that. Okay, so let's continue working actually on the shape of this. And then we're going to work on, like, different designs for the wall itself. Actually, let's work on the designs for the wall now. So, I kind of like the idea of a granite wall. The reason why I like the idea of a granite wall is, number one, we've got a deep slate wall over there. I don't know I don't even know if this is going to have a wall. I'm thinking this is going to be surrounded by hedgerow, but I like the idea. Number one, I've got a lot of granite, right? Number two, the brick and the granite both can be turned into wall itself. So we can, you know, change that around. We've got a lot of granite from digging out different places in the cave and that sort of thing. So we've got a lot of that stuff. And it really shines out. Now, the problem that I've got with that is with this, right? So Peak District style walling, which is kind of what I've got in my head. Actually, this is all like kind of posts and things. Okay, so this is kind of what I've got going on in my head of like what this area would look like. Hold on. Nah. Sorry, I'm getting a picture of like a Peak District style wall. Here we go. So this is kind of what I'm thinking in my head. Here, let me transition over. So I'm thinking this sort of a thing. Now the problem with this is that this wall is quite a bright looking wall. There's a lot of like white colors in it. It's blending in with the moss at the bottom, so we can mossy it up in different aspects and that sort of stuff, right? It's very like grays, but I'm not sure whether I want to go like grays with this sort of thing. This is exactly what I'm thinking about. Simple hut, nice small building, very simple, made out of the same sort of stone that is being used as the wall. Right, and then the sheep are in the different areas, and they can like kind of free roam around. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. That is what I'm thinking of. Dry stone walls, and then like surrounded by like these big trees, kind of thing. Like maybe some like bushes everywhere. Kind of. This is what I've got that image in my head. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to implement in this little area. Or like these sort of trees, that sort of... You kind of get what I mean. So the problem with this is that the color scheme for this looks very grey, right? Now, we could just do cobble. We could just do cobble, right? Absolutely, 100%. We could just do cobble. Cobble is an option. And probably the right option to go with, because at the moment we've got a lot of like light browns there. This might look a little bit odd, but so I'm gonna do like a few different palettes of 3 different styles of walls that we could kind of build and implement. The main reason I don't really want to do cobblestone is because I think the main pathway going through this entire area is going to be out of cobblestone. So you're going to have cobblestone here and cobblestone here, and it's just going to look a little bit messy, I think. Whereas if you do it in granite, you've got... This kind of goes with these sort of mud bricks kind of thing. Oh, mud is actually an interesting idea. Can you get these mud bricks in terms of a wall blocks? I presume you can. Let's just have a look on here, and I'm just going to do wall, right? So these are, yeah, so I do have a mud brick wall there, so that's interesting. I've got the stone brick walls that we can interlace with like cobblestone and mossy cobblestone, that sort of thing, right? Like you can really interlace those with the mossy colors really well. So those 3 things right there. And even andesite can be snuck into that as well to give it the highlight. Probably would leave the diorite out. You've got cobbled deep slate, which is a little bit darker, But you can mess around with cobbled deep slate, a little bit of blackstone, and maybe some nether brick. That's a little bit reddish tints in there, so but we've kind of got those sort of options. Cobbled deep slate and blackstone. A lot more darker, a lot more blacker. I've already got a black wall, so I'm a little bit resistant to do that with the deep slate tiles and things like that. So I'm a little bit resistant to do that, but we could do that. You know, it is an option. Or we've kind of got the granite, mud brick, and brick wall kind of combo. I'm definitely not going to go with the yellows, so we won't be doing end stone or sandstone, mainly because I don't think end stone's a very nice block in the first place, and sandstone is a little bit more difficult for us to get. Although we can do it now that we've got the, whatever. Yeah, so the nether brick is probably not going to work either, looking at this. So it all depends on what I want to do. Right, let's come up with a few designs. So we want cobblestone, deep slate castle. Really like the dark color. The reason why I'm not so keen on doing the deep slate is because I've already got a deep slate wall here, right? Like we've got a very unique, distinct deep slate wall for this build. There's a lot of deep slate in this build. Now, we could have deep slate in like every single build if we wanted to. I'm very tempted to do that. It is, like you said, a very good color to do that. However, I want every building to look very unique, and then once we put it all together, it will blend because we've got the trees and the bushes which will stay the same throughout. So all the buildings are unique, but it's the foliage and the environment that they're built in that is the same. So that's kind of why I want to use a different building material really for this entire thing. And I realize we're only really making a wall here, but we've got to put a lot of detail in. We've got to put a lot of thought and detail into the wall itself. We have to, because that's what is the most important part of it. We've got to have gates as well, something that we can functionally kind of open. Now I'm thinking maybe some redstone powered gates. Maybe. I don't necessarily like the idea of having redstone out in the open. Redstone is kind of for the chambers below, because that's the powerful technology that we've got under this very old. In Mother Russia, uniformity is unique. Hey Kath, how's it going, my dude? How are you? So yeah, I don't necessarily like the idea of doing that, but I mean, we've got other options to play with. We don't have to just build this wall out of wall blocks. We can use other blocks and interlace the actual walls, kind of like how we did that wall around there, right? It's not just wall blocks. In fact, there's only a few wall blocks. However, we do need to make sure that all the way through this, none of the sheep can get out and none of the mobs can get in. That's like those are the two criteria that need to work. You're at work. That sucks. I hate that. So yeah, we've got a few options. So let's go and collect some materials, and we'll build some sample walls. That's gonna be the next task, I think. So I would like some options here. So we said cobblestone was an option, so I'm going to get some cobblestone, some stone bricks. Actually, I'm going to use the stone brick wall here. Maybe some smooth stone slabs as well. Not going to turn that down. Normal stone, which I don't have that much of. Then the andesite as well, right? So we've got an option for like wall number 1 there. Wall number 2 was going to be the cobbled deep slate twined with. I don't have any blackstone. That's a little bit disappointing. I don't have any blackstone. I do have the mud though. That was going to be interlaced with it. Let's get rid of some of my junk. And I'm thinking more about looks rather than functionality, as always. It's got to look good. It doesn't... well, we do need functionality is important with this, but I realize the materials that we're building... I mean, I've built a house out of mushroom blocks, you know. Maybe not realistic, but it looks good. Okay, yeah, so we've got, like, kind of options 1's criteria here. I am actually going to just free up my inventory ever so slightly. Just so I've got room for all of this. Could we do green? Like a copper kind of thing? Worked for the Smurfs. What, mud? Building everything out of mud? I guess it kind of did. Yeah, we don't have any, I don't have any dark, deep, dark black stone, at all. Which might be an oversight, but we do have the nether brick here, which can be turned into walls. I'm not sure. That's a maybe. That's a maybe. I don't know if I can make that work. So there we go. So we've kind of got like option number 2 there with those colors. Let's get option number 3, which is going to be like the granite focused option. Maybe the nether brick can be squeezed into that with the actual bricks themselves. Which will take a little bit of grinding to get. And we could also like we can play around with like the granite quite. We've got a lot of granite, so it's going to be granite primary focus, I think. Maybe be able to get the netherite into that. Oh, actually mud bricks might be better. Although, actually, now I'm looking at it in the... I don't know, I won't know until I put it down on the ground, but maybe that packed mud isn't going to work with the bricks themselves. Try building a fence out of light... lightning rods. I don't know whether you're joking or not, but I do actually quite like the idea of doing like a copper variant with... Not really. Well... So... Jesus! Really? Fine. Get out. Go on. Go on. You're not welcome here. You are not welcome here. Zombie invasion. I know. Just look out the freaking window and there's just like 100 zombies just chilling. My dogs are like, yeah, it's fine, you know. They're just chilling. They were just chilling there. I think that was a zombie raid. There we go. Got another one. I'm curious to see how it would look. Well, so the reason why you've kind of stopped me in my tracks there is because up here I have copper, I have granite, and I've got bricks, right? And they all kind of blend quite well. And look what I've got at the top of the chimney. So the colors can work. They can work. We know that they can work. So we could also add oxidized copper into this. That's what I'm thinking, like into this selection here, like that level of copper works with this and this and even that. Kind of like that. That works well with this. So this is a bit tricky. So the granite works well with the packed mud, but I don't think those two can never go together. That's important. And that kind of thing, I don't like that. It's too, yeah, no, I don't like that. But we can use that. Unfortunately, the wall blocks, so if I wanted to implement the wall blocks, would be made from that color. So I think actually I'm gonna veto the mud, which is annoying because I will find a good use for the mud at some point. Lightning rods can mount sideways. How do you make a lightning rod? I'm gonna play around. We've got a good idea. So one of my issues that I had, Kath, was that I wanted to be able to walk along the path and see into 3 copper bars. Okay. Typical. That's fine. Let's smelt up some copper. I wanted to be able to see into, at places, the sheep farm, right? Now, again, the vibe that I've got, that I want to do from this is this sort of a vibe, right? So this is the sort of vibe that I want to go on in the area. I realize this is very grey, but you kind of like see how the sheep are kind of like in different pens inside like a big field with a central barn in the center. So I kind of want that vibe, but more akin to this, right? So this sort of a wall, you've got heavy growth up either side. Maybe you've got a combination of like posts that stick out from the wall in places, maybe a gate, that sort of a thing. Bits where the stone is going to be broken off, that sort of stuff. And also like mossy growth, kind of like broken down in places, but it needs to be completely functional all the way through. Like these sort of like fence posts that kind of cross into the wall, that sort of thing as well. And it all looks a little bit mismatched. It's aged over a long period of time. That's the idea that I've kind of got in my head. And that's what I want this wall to look like. It needs to look mismatched, I think. I have to mute and grab your first examine. Yeah. So the idea of using copper is not a bad idea, because we could utilize that as kind of like different areas where maybe the wall has deteriorated over time and a farmers came along or the shepherders came along and just stuck in a post that sticks in, you know, like in different areas just to keep the sheep in. Like, that's not a bad idea, but I need to go and have a look at that. I think I'm not in the right scene. I was on my desktop scene. Right, now I'm on my what's it scene, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's make some lightning rods. I want to see what we can actually do with this, because potentially we've got a good little area where we can be using. So can we mount these sideways? We can. Do you know what this... Oh, why did that not go in? Makes me wonder how many bottles I've lost there, because that didn't... well, whatever. Didn't collect in the right place. So now I'm thinking, if we do something... Oh. Something like that, as kind of like a gatepost. Optifine. Ugh. Hate that. That's the first glitch I've found in Optifine. I think the way to... Yeah, there we go. You just needed to, like, zoom in, reset it. So I mean, we could do that. Like, it would be cooler, though, if we could... Like, we could have, like, these little sections that go up. What does the wall look like? Do you know what I want? Do you know what I really want? I want this. And do we have anything of interest in here? I do have the brown mushroom blocks. Got that waxed copper there, so we can utilize that, because that's going to be the right color. Will it stop sheep? Hey, Discount, how's it going, my dude? Well, the idea is that I will build this up tall enough so that it does stop the sheep. But yeah, the sheep shouldn't be able to go over that if it was like at this level, right? So if it was here, which is not. The sheep shouldn't be able to... Oh, maybe they will, because they can get onto this. So then you would need it again, kind of like... there kind of thing. Ugh, God. Okay, placement of these lightning rods is difficult. So you need it kind of like that. So it'd be quite a big wall. But I have no qualms with making this quite a thick, like, big wall anyway. But yeah, hey Discan, how's it going, my dude? So this would kind of like be option number one, and I think at that height we're probably looking at some slabs maybe. And then you've also got like... let's... I hate the fact that my inventory is always full. I've got no empty shulker box either, have I? Because that's full of junk. It's so much of a faff. So much of a faff. Oops. 4 slots of carrots, am I? Oh, yeah, I am. Good point. Don't need that many carrots. Yeah, I'm kind of... Sometimes I become blind to what I'm holding in my inventory, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that rotten flesh, I don't know how long I've been holding that rotten flesh. It's probably been for a long time. Ladders. I don't really need the ladders with me at the moment, because we're not building high. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's just such a faff, though. Like, the inventory system in Minecraft is such a faff. Ow. Not a good start. Not a good start. No, you dick! No! No! Oh, bollocks, bollocks. No, I'm gonna die. Escape! Whew. This isn't the end, Enderman. God damn it! Stop hitting me, you dick! What a dick! That was probably my most pathetic Enderman fight I think I've ever done. Okay, right. So I'm actually gonna take this down because this was like a road idea. Both of these were road ideas, but I do want this sort of a concept for... right, okay, so this is what I need. I need to start placing blocks. That's what we need to do. Right, let's go with like the bricks. So I think the base needs to be like the darker colors. So let's do like a little area like this, right? And maybe on top of this we have the walls. Is that actually a block? It is a block. Weird. I hate that this is a thing. There we go. So we'll do that. And then from there, I'm going to add little bits of, like, say, granite. I'll add, like, little sections of the granite in there, maybe. We've got the cut exposed copper too, which actually I do quite like. Because that has like elements of green, so maybe I want that towards the bottom of this. In different places. And then, like, in places where it looks like it's fallen apart a little bit. So somewhere, something that looks like this. And maybe it's been, like, repaired in places kind of thing. That's where we have the lightning rods. Because I don't think sheep can get over this. They might be able to, actually. So something like this, right? So the majority of it will be like wall, and that wall would also be interlaced with the granite wall as well. Maybe there. So it'd be something like this, right? Like the kind of goes all the way through, all the way across. Then you would also, I hope I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm doing great, thanks. Also have little sections where it would just be the wall down here, so maybe it's dropped down a little bit. But like I said, like it needs to be able to all the way around, no sheep can pass, right? So maybe you have little areas like this. So that would be option one, something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I don't know about the, well, first off, I don't know whether the sheep can get over that. Let's do a little experiment, actually. Let's see if sheep can get over it. Oops. They can get under it. That's interesting. They can get under it. Like, okay, can they get under that? So I can jump up here. I don't think they can get under it or over that at that height. So if you have like a slab underneath, then they're fine. So they can get on the slab, but they can't get on top of the post. We know what the next test is going to be, though, which I have a feeling they are going to be able to get over. Yeah, I don't think they can get over that, so they can't go from the half slab to here. Actually, this is a big test. So it's 96.625, and this is 0.5. Yeah, so that is not a block. That is a block 0.12 distance to travel. So the next test is whether or not they can get over this, which I believe that they will be able to walk over that. Because they can go up one block, and that's the limit. They can go up one full block, and that's only like 0. The distance from there to here is 0.62. So they'll be able to get over that. However, if you've got like a stair underneath, they should not be able to get over this. Because they cannot travel higher than a 1 block in height, right? I think that's their limit. So if we have a look at F3, underneath me, where the Y coordinates are, we are currently stood at like Y 95.5, and then we go up one like to this, we're at 96.625. So we've actually gone up, we've increased in height by a block and 1.125 blocks, which is not bad actually. That's quite that. So this should work as a fence, this concept here, as long as you have a slab underneath it, right? That should work, and they can't get inside here. However, baby zombies will be able to fit through that gap there. So it is not baby zombie proof. So there's your problem. If you did do it this way, you would need... Yeah, you would need something to block that. Actually, maybe they can. Can I get through it? I can get through it. So I can get through there. So I can fly through this. We can get that through crawl mode. So I reckon that they can. Zombies won't bother sheep though. No, the reason why I don't want zombies getting in is if I'm in the sheep pen at night, if I'm in here at night, I do not want any mobs. Because if I'm swinging my sword around, I could kill the sheep, right? And we don't want to kill the sheep. So this needs to be, it needs to be mob proof. So this sort of a thing could work. I personally do not like the look of this at the moment. It looks awful. That section isn't terrible, but I don't know whether I can make this work. I'll be real. It's an interesting idea, but I just meh. I haven't seen a sheep go over that yet. So maybe they can't get on top of here. Maybe they can't get on that ledge. Maybe that's acting as like a slab would act. Or carpet, piece of carpet. So that's interesting. This is a lot more tricky than I thought. designing a wall like this. Because let's be honest, ideally we want this to look... Well, maybe it's a matter of like just placing it all down in like granite first. Like just have the circle in granite. But I'm not even sure that granite is the thing that I want to build it out of. Yeah, this is the problem. Like I said, I've got like Peak District vibes wall thing going on. Okay, so let's work on the next sample for like the wall. I will build this just behind. We will build it over here, shall we? You're a nerd and you stink of nerd. I am a nerd. I do not stink though. I have a good fragrance. Hey animal, how's it going? So, bare basics. We'll just go with like the full cobblestone variant kind of thing, which looks terrible at the moment. But we can change this. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages to this, right? Like, this style of wall is... Well, advantage, I'm pretty sure mobs cannot get onto this, right? And walk this way around. Actually, maybe enemy mobs can. So you would have to, like... do something like that, right? Which kind of, like, makes it look a little bit broken up. Obviously, this would be... we would texturize this as well, so it wouldn't just be cobblestone. Oh, I hate Minecraft inventory system. Such a faff. It is such a faff. That they need to fix this. They need to just fix the inventory system. I say this every time I play this game. I can't play it. Like every time I come to play this game, I can't play it because like I'm messing around with my inventory and it's taking me like 5 times as long to do something stupidly simple. Did you steal some of my gravel? There we go, that's better. Alright, let's make this look a little bit nicer. There's too much cobblestone going on at the moment. Gravel is an option, actually, for this. For this sort of a thing, gravel is absolutely an option, so I'm going to utilize that. Gravel, andesite, cobblestone. Actually, maybe not andesite. Maybe get rid of the andesite and just keep with the gravel. And then there would probably be like some mossy variant to this as well, which I don't currently have, but we can use our imaginations, right? Then we've also got like this smooth that we could add into the wall. Bear in mind, I do want it to be functional. I'm actually, maybe I don't want too much smoothed stone slabs because I'm kind of using that in my contraptions at the moment. So something like that. So that would be like kind of an option number 2 is this sort of a build, right? Whereas every so often there would be like these little gates that would probably be made out of like dark oak gates, actually. The reason why I would say dark oak is because it's going to contrast. So there would be actual functioning gates in this. In this, There probably would be functioning gates. We would make it out of the jungle oak, I think. So it's less of a contrast, but... Or we could do it out of the mangrove, so it would be a bright red kind of thing. So there would still be functional gates for us to be able to get into this sort of a system. This has a little bit more accessories with like the... this is less practical though, because baby zombies, I believe, can get through that gap. The only issue for me is that it's too small, but that's also because I know the ins and outs and how to play it. If you would like, later today, this evening, we can maybe run a test. You can run a test with me. How does that sound? So that would be after the premiere of... After the premiere of last... what's it? Because I'm interested. I want to play it. So you can do a test run with me and... Don't give me any information. You said it was like a solo kind of game, right? So don't give me any information about it. Let me figure it out myself. You know what I'm like. Okay, so this is option number 2. A much darker style of wall. And there would be Blackstone implemented into this. The reason why I want to use Blackstone is because I haven't used Blackstone anywhere else. So this would be a really cool little build to have Blackstone on. So this would be like kind of option number 2, using Blackstone instead of maybe the tiles. The reason why I don't want to use the tiles is because that's the same as the wall that we've already made. So that's option number 3, is like the darker thing. And actually, option number 1 and like 2 and 3 could maybe get blended in quite well. So you could have these like really light areas of the wall and then these really dark areas. Now, the thing is, whatever I make the wall out of, I'm making the building out of as well. So it's kind of a big decision on what I want. And the annoying thing is, I kind of like all 3 of these wall styles. Like, the style itself is pretty much how I'm envisioning it. How I'm envisioning this wall going all the way around, right? Yeah, that can also check the info giving systems. So I don't know. I don't know what to make this wall out of. And I haven't seen a single sheep go over this. So that tells me that they cannot escape if you have the block underneath the lightning rod. So potentially quite a good sign. So you could have like that. You could have this block like there if you wanted to. I do want to test whether a baby zombie can get through there, though. So I'm going to go onto the creative world to test that. Also needs a better interior through some parts, and those some parts are nice. Oh, this is my thing that we've built in the game. Last thing I did on this was do that. Figure all that out. Look at all the redstone crap I had to do to figure that out, though. What was I doing? Why did I come onto the test world? Oh, I wanted to test a mob. So we wanted to test... Rod. Yeah. I can't spell lightning, apparently. Cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna do boop, 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 boop. Slabs. And this is just to see whether the baby zombies... How do you spawn baby zombies? Because then there's not an egg spawner for baby zombies, is there? No. Is it just spawn zombies until you get the... Huh. Oh yeah. I knew that that existed in-game. Oh, you idiot, Womble. First try as well. Okay, so... I want to see. Is he going to be able to run through there? I don't think he can. Minecraft stone pickaxe. Oh wow, I got an achievement for that. Yeah, he can't get out. Okay, that's good to know. Commands are cap sensitive. Yeah, I realized. Okay, so that's good to know. So zombies cannot get through that. Baby zombies cannot get through that. Do you know what will be able to, though? Silverfish. So silverfish will be able to get through, but that's not a problem because we don't have silverfish spawning. Endermites will also be able to get through, but that's not a problem. We don't have endermites spawning. Actually, I'm curious to know. Endermite and silver. Yeah, they can't get through either. How big are their hitboxes? Huh. Because those hitboxes are quite small, right? Yeah, you can elytra through that. We already tried that. Weird. It's either that or they can't see me, maybe. Maybe if I place that there. No, they're definitely pathing to me. Right? Yeah, so he's definitely pathing to me. No, they can't get through. Nice! So mobs cannot get through that. They just can't get through it. So I'm curious. Can they get over it? Oh! Yeah, so they can get over it. Okay, so they can get over it, but they can't get under it. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Their pathfinding might think they can't. Well, that's all we need, though, right? Let me try this, and we're gonna spawn a zombie in there. Is that another baby zombie? I want to see if he can pathfind out. He's got a helmet on, so let's see. Let's see if he can pathfind out like with that, without the. So he can't... It doesn't seem like he can stand on this block if there's something covering it, which is the same thing that we were finding with the sheep, right? So it looks like that they... like mobs, just in general, including passive mobs, any mobs, cannot pathfind onto a block with another block on top. Regardless of how thin that block is, because this is there blocking the path, they can't. Endermite went under the rod, though. No, he didn't. He went over it. He went over it. He bounced over it. I need to watch it slowly. But... yeah. So if you watch this, it appears like he goes under it, but actually he's going... He's bouncing over it when he escapes. So... he gets onto there, so he's on there, look. He gets as far as in line with the rod itself. And then bounces up. So he's bouncing up and he's bouncing over it. So he was able to stand on that because there was now a clear path for him to step up and over. Does that make sense? So he doesn't actually go under it. He can't get under that gap. He has to go over it. But basically, as long as we don't allow the mobs to stand on this block here with like a slab, they actually can't get onto that block. So, that's a good sign. But yeah, he's climbing over it. He bounces up. We can watch it again just to be double sure. And it wasn't until I broke this block here that they became willing to attack, right? Which is exactly what we would normally see. Now, this is the smallest block, but I have a feeling that any form of mob would be able to do what these guys are doing. Right, so this is any form of mob would be able to climb over it if the conditions are met, if that makes sense. So that would mean that, yeah, we would have to, because right now this baby zombie cannot escape because there's no slab there. But if I place a slab here, he can escape, right? And he did. He managed to get up, and then we can even make him do that again. And he can use... I forgot that I was low health. This was a surreal moment. For a second then I was like, wait a second. I just killed myself in my survival world. And I've just realized that this entire room is backwards to what it is in the actual survival world. That's hilarious. Yeah, that entire room is backwards. Weird. Okay, well, that's giving me a good idea. So the next thing I need to do is design... Oh, tough. Tough is a good shout. That is a very good shout as a building block. See, sometimes it's very good to go back through like your testing world to have ideas. So yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do in terms of walls though. I don't know which wall pattern would look better. I'm leaning away from the dark one because we've got a dark wall over there, right? So we've already done a lot of deep slate darker stuff, so I kind of want to move away from that. I'm thinking probably the greys, but I have a feeling that this pathway is going to be mostly cobblestone. The reason for that is because I'm going to have a lot of cobblestone. Stone and cobblestone, right? And it's easy to get, it's easy to mine. That's what this path's going to be. Do a wall with granite and stone splotches. I don't think the granite and the stone can work together. I don't think I can make it blend. So, yeah. I'm not sure what I want. I'm not sure what I want. I think I need to come at it at a different day. I think I need to take a break from it now. But we've started work on this project. This is a cool idea for a project. I'm not saying that this is what we're going to be doing next time I stream. We might not be working on this project. All depends on what the early birds want me to stream, basically. Recently in the Minecraft streams, whenever I've been doing Minecraft, I've been leaving it up. Like, so the first half an hour is like deciding what we're going to do. I give like 4 options of what I wouldn't mind doing, jobs that need getting done, kind of thing. And out of those 4 options, chat chooses 1. And today's option was to work with the... Oh, I hate it when they like disappear on me, like mid-stride. Option number 1 was to work on the terraforming of this area here. We came up with a list. List 1 was to re-terraform and get the levels completely right, which is all fine now. Option part 1B was to light up the area, which took like 2 seconds. And part 2 was to work on the wall. So that is kind of like where we're at. We're at phase 2. We still want to extend the wall round a little bit further, so I want it to go a little bit more in this direction over here. Maybe skirt around this bit, or maybe utilize all of this. Yeah, maybe come all the way out here and really utilize this hill, and then come down here. And then connect up with the red line. That might be what I want to do, just to extend it, just to give it a little bit more volume. Because it does look... Yeah, it looks like I'm missing like a big chunk of area there. I know, I want to utilize it. That's safe. Good. In that section there, that's where we're going to build our like kind of hut. Or maybe over here. I'm torn. Like, this could be a good area for the hut itself, for the shepherd's hut, or here. We're going to have a building here regardless of whether it's the shepherd's hut or not. So here might be the best option for it. The reason why we'll have a building here is because we need to extend the village in that direction and deforestize things. But that's once we've done this sheep thing on the above ground. So yeah, pretty much that was the option that everyone went for. The other options included the pathway, working on this path. We had digging the rest of the tunnel below here. Animal, have you seen this, by the way? I don't know if you saw this. But yeah, digging the rest of the tunnel for this. Not yet. I'm pretty pleased with this piece of redstone. I'm just saying. I'm pretty pleased with that redstone. And the way it's hidden. Yeah, the way it's hidden as well is you wouldn't notice it. I'm pretty pleased with the way that we've done it. I used the netherite roof for that texture rather than having the end. I went for the netherite. And we've got glowstone item frames so that they're all the same color. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good redstone. Pretty pleased with it. It was surprisingly fairly easy to work out how to do. I just broke it into little stages. So the first thing, I wanted an item swapper there, so I built the item swapper, and then I went from the item swapper and I was like, right, well, I've got this power line that's coming off of here, so why don't we just power the pistons from that? And then it just became like really simple just to get the rest of it in. No matter what you do. Exactly. Exactly. Nether maps don't show the roof. Exactly. That's why I went with the nether map instead. I think the nether map works really well. Because it's got a bit more texture. Like, it's got the texture, it's got different patterns and stuff. The grey works with that. And then also you've got the texture of the wallpaper. So it feels like a border that you would have around a room. It's just a shame that I can't get them in these places there, but the game doesn't allow for that. At least, yeah. But yeah, no, I really like it. I really like this room. I think this room's turned out really well. We still need to work on this. This wasn't an option today because I wasn't feeling creative juices flowing for interior. So option 3 was to work on the path down here to connect this up with the big tunnel. Ah! It's fine. That's the problem with having a delay. You can't like walk in and out quickly. And option 4 was to work on the villages, and you guys wanted me to work with the sheep and get that sorted, so that's what we did. And I'm semi-pleased. I'm semi-pleased with the work that we've done. I mean, it was very boring, very tedious stuff, but it's stuff that needed to be done. Like, you know, it's stuff that needed to get done eventually. I might continue to work on this off-stream. I'm not sure. It all depends on time commitments and scheduling and stuff. But I'm going to go and get some food. And we're going to end the stream here. I've had a good little doodah. Now, before I go though, I do need everyone to be aware of something. I have... Oh, I'm curious. Before, actually, hold on. Is this going to work? Does this connect up? No, it doesn't. Okay, that looks terrible. Good to know. No, good to know. Before I do go, I have edited the last episode, the last session of whatchamacallit? Dungeons and Dragons, our Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and that's going to go on premiere in half an hour on my YouTube channel. In fact, I'm going to put a link here in the chat, in the chat. See if I've got the link. So here is the link to the premiere itself. That's the premiere. That will go live in an hour, 1 hour's time. The reason why it's going to be an hour is because I need to go and get some food. I want to go and drink, and then I'm going to come and sit down in the chat. We can chit-chat, talk about the episode as it goes live, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? As we have done in the past on this channel, but it will be on the YouTube channel. It's not going to be here. I'm reserving the premieres for YouTube. I think YouTube, after all of this time, deserves a little bit of TLC from time to time. And yeah. Also, if you do want to have a look at the other episodes of the Tales of Mercia, they are available in that link. I am tempted, after session 10, to do a best of the first 10 sessions and do like a little mini clip series of the progression of the story so far, because a lot of things have happened, a lot of important story stuff, some hilarious moments with the characters and that sort of things. So I'm very, very tempted to do that here. Let's get into this scene so I can talk. Cliff lick to Cliff. Yeah, and what happened? You got poisoned. You lick stupid stuff and then you take damage. That's how that works. At least I gave you a Constitution saving throw. I just didn't do the poison damage. No regrets. But anyway, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be watching it. I've never done one of these YouTube premieres before, so it might be a little bit weird. but the chat should be rolling. So it's like an hour's time away. If you want to join us, it'd be more than welcome. Other than that, I am going to head out. Have a good night, evening, noon. Insert time zone here. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Until next time, later, nerds.